Moving on to the next item on our agenda, Anat, if you want to say a few words about the SaaS, the Velocity Career Lab SaaS Credential Agent, and what we've learned through some of the experiences we've had.
Sure. Thank you. Um, so we picked out of the few customers that are onboarded to the SaaS, the Velocity SaaS Credential Agent. We picked three use cases that we found uh, describe best the experience that they had. The first one is craft education. Um, they have a management system for based accreditation. What they did is they needed to issue education records and implement CTDL. So we set them up on our SaaS agent. Um, they were playing the roles of credential agent operators and multi-tenant issuers, and they used a webhook integration. You will see in the next two that we are sharing three different use cases, methods of integration. The implementation setup and everything was that they created organizations, they created tenant, they set up the webhook integrations to their system of records, and we provided them access to the test wallet. Overall, they worked again, not full days, 9 or 10 hours a day, but approximately it took them 7 days to get onboarded and run everything. Um, what we saw that they were the result was that they had a fast time to the adoption. They had obviously ongoing engagement. When they ran into a problem, they opened a ticket. We answered, we worked with them. They were engaged as well. We saw them answering us and our team when we requested the information. They used the CTO office hours and the support, and overall they were satisfied with the onboarding. Um, Again, they're on testnet. They're not on mainnet yet. The next case study was a UK staffing firm. Now, they had a very, very short time to get onboarded, so we suggested to them to get onboarded to our SaaS solution. They needed to show their board a demo of badges. And how everything will work. So what we used here is a different method, which is batch issuing, which doesn't require any integration with the system of records. We set them up on our SaaS agent, and they issued badges for their board meeting and to demo them. So what we did was, again, set up organization and created tenants. We designed an open badge version 3 schema with them. And we helped them whatever questions or information they needed. They created a CSV file for the users that they wanted to issue the credentials to. They ran batch issuing, and they had, of course, access to the test wallet. They provided access to all the board members. Um, this was very fast. Since there was no integration, it was very easy, very simple. We provided them with documentation for with specific instructions to do the onboarding and the batch issuing, almost a step-by-step one. So that took them 3 days. I do have to mention here that that organization had the person that did that all the uh, um, onboarding was highly technical and was very easy for them to do. So again, we had the result of very, very fast adoption. They had a deadline, so they had to meet it. Again, we had ongoing engagement. In this case, it was unfortunately over the weekend. They were very, very busy and they had to do that in a very strict timeline. So we provided them with a lot of support and engagement. They had a lot of questions over emails and everything. So it was very successful. The board meeting, um, we got information that it was very successful. So
And I'll just add to this one. We like giving this example. I think, our objective all the time and the reason we created the SaaS solution, and Judd, you mentioned that earlier, is that we're trying to make the barrier to entry as low as possible. We want to tell, this is not the solution that the staffing firm did is not a sustainable, scalable solution, obviously. But the fact that a person over her weekend with the right skills, but this is not, wasn't her job, sat down, read the documentation, worked with a knot, ran the credential agent, and ran a batch issuing over the weekend with relatively little challenges is exactly meets our objective, which is to make it possible to go into a proof of concept or a pilot with minimum investment, learn, experience, showcase, in this case, the board of this company, and then help that inform more decisions around how to continue forward. So this is, I think, one of our cooler cases that we like saying about because really within over a weekend for this is the CEO of a small staffing firm who is an engineer and very technically capable, but sat down and just made it happen herself over the weekend with with a lot of Anat's help.
and the third organization that we're going to present here is Relying Party. They have a career platform that they needed to integrate to do verifications. So they onboarded to our SaaS. They didn't want to deal with deploying their own credential agent. They are using the credential agent operator, and as a relying party, they use the webhooks to set up everything. Um, the implementation was again creating an organization and tenants, setting up the webhooks and integration to their system of records, and access to the test wallet. In this case, they had to be a relying party. As Judd said, you have to issue and have credentials in your wallet in order to test the verification side. So they were very, very, very engaged. They were a delight to work with, and it took them approximately 5 days to integrate and get set up everything up on the credentials agent side and on the velocity side. Again, we had a lot of engagement and on both sides, and they were highly skilled as well. So it was a fast adoption. And obviously, when you have ongoing engagement and fast adoption, the satisfaction is higher, um, and response is good. Um, Next one, are you done? So what are the onboarding steps that a customer needs in order to get on our SaaS implementation credential agent? Is first of all, you have to contact your account manager in order to learn more about the opportunities and the options that you have. Once you sign the Velocity contract, the SaaS contract, we send you instructions, detailed instructions on registering um, the organization. We provide you with a token so you can use the Postman and API calls and set up whatever you want if you're doing webhooks and integrations. If you're not using a webhook integrations and you're going through the batch issuing process, which is a no integration issuing, then we'll provide you with details instructions on how to do that and how to proceed with that. And you basically start working, and you start doing it, and we provide you with the support email. Those that have a support package will get a response, a faster response, and can join the CTO office hours. If not, then we provide links to the documentation, which is available to anyone that needs to read it. Um, uh, that's it, I guess. Questions?
Any questions, thoughts? My team, Justin and Naomi? If not, I'll just say first of all, thank you, Anat, for sharing that. We launched the SaaS solution. We actually were using this capability for our own internal needs for development and so on. And we launched it as a solution with the intent of just making it very easy for organizations to get up and running. The feedback based on these three use cases that are not shared is that it's meeting that need. As Judd said, around the 98% documentation, I think we can still make it even better documentation, maybe a little bit more automation. There's still some back and forth in the process between the organization running the SaaS solution and us because there needs to be a registration, a token exchange, and other things. But in general, in terms of the cost and time, and effort, because there's no need to maintain the SaaS credential agent and so on for an organization to start out, at least initially, even if you have the capabilities of running a credential agent, to start out by doing this, be up and running within a couple of days and without having to worry about the management and maintenance of the credential agent. And if it's not clear, then there's absolutely no limitation of being able to pull in that capability at a later stage, at any given time. Anything you've done on your SaaS credential agent, you can then install and run on your own credential agent when and if you decide to do so. So we are encouraging organizations to at least start this way, just as the fastest, easiest, lowest effort, lowest barrier to get going, and decide when and if you want to move to maintain your own credential and agent at a later time when that makes sense to you.